Question 3 from Lesson 6, Module 4, homework. How does knowing 1/5 of 10 help you find 3/5 of 10? Draw a picture to explain your thinking. Okay, so I'm going to take 10 and break it into 5 groups. So I'm making a 5x2 or 2x5 array. And knowing 1/5 of 10 is the same as taking those 10 and dividing by 5 groups. So 1/5 of 10 equals 2. So if I know that, then 3/5 of 10 is 3 times what 1/5 was. 3 times 2. So 3/5 of 10 equals 6. Knowing 1/5 of 10 is 2 helps me to explain how I get 3/5 of 10 by taking 3 times what 1/5 is. Question 4. Sarah just turned 18 years old. She spent 4/9 of her life living in Rochester, New York. For how many years did Sarah live in Rochester? All right, so Sarah, again, just like question number 2 before, we have a couple of different ways that we can draw Sarah and think about her life in years. 18 years could either be drawn in a 1x18 array, 18x1 array, a 2x9 or 9x2 array, a 3x6 or 6x3 array. I'm thinking of making 9 groups of 2 for my array. They represent her years. All those X's represent her years. And I've made 9 groups. Why did I make 9 groups? Because my denominator is 9. So what I'm thinking here is finding what 1/9 of 18 is, which is the same thing as taking 18, my total, dividing it by 9. 1/9 of 18 is 2. Now if I want 4/9, I could take 1/9, which was 2. 1/9 of 18 was 2. So I can take 4 times 2, because 4/9 is 4 times 1/9. 4 times 2 is 8. So she spent 4/9 in Rochester. Just label this so I could see it more clearly. And she spent the rest of her time not in Rochester. So she spent 8 years life in Rochester. And finally, question number 5. Last question for today. A farmer collects 12 dozen eggs from her chickens. She sells 5/6 of the eggs at the farmer's market and gives the rest to her friends and neighbors. How many eggs does she give away? Okay, so I'm looking at 12 dozen eggs. And she's selling 5/6. So I'm thinking of number 12. I'm wondering how I could break up 12. I could break up 12 one group 12, 12 groups of 1. I could do 2 groups of 6 or 6 groups of 2. I could do 3 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 3. For this case, I'm going to make 6 groups. Why am I going to make 6 groups of 2? Because my denominator is 6. So here I go. Each x equals a dozen eggs. We have 12 dozen eggs. She sells 5/6. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups, I'm just going to label this. This is what she sold. This last part is what she gives away. Okay? So, we want to know how many eggs she gives away. Well, she's giving away 1/6. I can clearly see with my drawing, she's giving away 1/6 of 12 dozen. Well, what's 1/6 of 12? 1/6 of 12 dozen is the same as 12 divided by 6, which is my 2 dozen. She gives away 2 dozen eggs. Part B. If she sells each dozen for $4.50, how much will she earn from the eggs she sells? Well, I'm looking at part A. The eggs she sells, there are 5/6 of 12 is the same thing as 1/6 5 times. 1/6 was 2 dozen eggs. So she is selling 10 dozen. She's selling 10 dozen. So if she's selling 10 dozen, and she's selling each dozen for $4.50, this is a mental math problem. I'm going to move my decimal 1 spot to the right to make it 10 times bigger. She's going to earn $45.